want to welcome you to the couch. We're having a very loud morning. This morning, right?
It's fun.
I'm here with my Jenny Ware. I want to introduce you to the couch and bring you on. Why don't you tell us a little bit of what we're doing right now?
Alrighty. So welcome everybody. We're in Vizag, India. We've had a wonderful week of service with the local Lions. And this morning we're going to rock it and we're packaging dry meals for the locals. And I think they said 10,000 meals, Lion Chris?
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. But we have at least 40 lions from 7 different countries that are here serving with another 30, 40 local lions. So we're going to knock this out in about an hour and a half, I think.
I think you're probably right. I know last time we did the Rodriguez meet, we knocked it out in less than an hour. So.
Oh my gosh, yes, we can do this. So as you can see, they're bringing in fresh potatoes, fresh onions. We're going to have some dried local cuisine along with rice. And so right now it's just all the preparation.
All this is made possible by donations to LCF, correct?
LCIF, Lions Clubs International Foundation. So our whole Global Service Week really is taking up the mission of Lions Clubs International. And we don't talk about our mission statement very often, so I thought this would be a great time to talk about that. Because the mission statement talks about empowering service in our local communities, meeting humanitarian needs, promoting peace, and international understanding. And this week has been all of that. We brought how many different cultures together. We've been able to sit and talk and share ideas, talk about our cultures. And I know sometimes we think back in the United States, where I'm from, that our projects are too small. But you know what? This really made me realize it doesn't matter how small or how large, you're helping empower at least one person, and that's what truly matters.
That is what matters.
Yes.
One
at a time. And if you don't have the population like they do in the middle of Vizag, India, and you're in the middle of Rapid River, Michigan, and you're able to help 5 families, that's what matters most. And this past week, we were also able to work with Project KidSite and introduce Project KidSite vision screenings to the Lions of this multiple district in Vizag, India. So,
and how many people were screened this last week?
Believe it or not, we helped screen over 11,000 children.
Wow.
And through those 11,000, a little over 2,000 children were referred, and about 500 to 600 received glasses. So our foundation, Lions Clubs International, we provide grants, right? Because as a local Lions Club, we only have this many dollars or rupees or whatever your local currency may be. And when you go to Lions Clubs International Foundation, you have matching grants or even more money that can double the impact. So when you think 11,000, what if we were only able to do 5,000 or 6,000 of those students? How many wouldn't have been served? A couple of days ago, they shared that 6 children, and these are 6 to 19-year-olds, 6 children had cataracts. So what if we were only able to serve half, and those 6 would have been in the half not served? So those are the kind of things that is so exciting. Empowering service, international understanding, and seeing how the different cultures work.
Turn off the extra mic. Feedback.
Well, I was going to say, it sounds like they're starting to gather and receive some instructions here. So it's going to get really busy really quick.
We are live, so
So, Chris, you've actually been behind the camera a lot throughout this entire week. What have your thoughts been?
it's been eye-opening. I've actually been able to do a lot of service and get in front of the camera
Yes.
and actually do some work. And I can tell you that it's been life-changing because you see so many kids that are coming through there that need help, and you get a pattern where you're just passing, so they're doing good, and you get that child that needs help. A lot of them you can see it without actually
Yeah.
doing the scanning, and we're helping those kids. We're able to give them a chance at the future that they may not have had without opportunities through LCIF.
Yeah. Along with that is the local Lions partnered with a glasses company who provided the free glasses. My mistake. They provided them at cost.
Wow.
So part of the grant went not only us getting into the schools, providing the vision screenings, but also the glasses. So the doctors saw the children that needed the glasses, gave the prescriptions to the company. The company had the children look at the frames, and overnight they made the glasses and delivered them to that school the very next day. So these children didn't even have to wait 7 to 10 days like they do in my area. And if you talk to any of the eye doctors that are on the service week with us, they'll tell you that these children are just straining so hard to see that it's like they're running marathons every day and they're just so tired. So to actually then do the homework or the schoolwork, it's hard because they're focusing so hard just to see.
Yeah.
So it's incredible.
And just to be around them, to be
Yeah.
among them. I know a big part of it was to actually communicate with them and to they were asking lots of questions. We were able to communicate back. And I know another project you guys were able to work with, and hopefully we'll be able to talk with Lion Ivy here in a second.
Yeah.
Is the Project Dignity?
Yeah. So Project Dignity is we're talking to girls that are age 11, 12 on up, and we're talking about our menstrual cycles. And in rural areas like this, not all the girls have access to the opportunity for the hygiene or the products. And so most of them have to miss out on school. Well, as we all know, that's almost a whole week every single month. And so that already puts them 25% behind in their schoolwork. And then we don't talk about it, so the boys laugh at the girls and make fun of them. And we were even talking with some of the girls, and their moms don't even talk with them.
Wow.
So it's the secret that's a natural part of life. And so we're able to educate the girls that we have these menstrual cycles because we're women and we can make babies.
Yeah.
And that's the body preparing to make the babies. Now, we don't talk about how the babies are made, right? But just letting them know this is normal.
Yeah.
This is normal. The symptoms they have, maybe what's normal, what's not normal. And I think this is a great conversation for the entire world.
Yeah, sure.
It's truly opened up a lot of discussions in our household that we didn't have before. So it's really getting rid of the stigma of a natural part of the human life cycle.
And to be able to provide them products and to be able to help them to stay in school has been just a tremendous help. I know this last 2 years that the
Yeah.
project took on, we've been able to do this, and it's such a ongoing thing. This is not something that'll stop today. It'll continue to go on, in the future.
And thank you for mentioning that because in the United States, everything we use is disposable. And here they don't have a good sanitary system. So we've been able to actually show them how to make reusable sanitary napkins with very nice 100% cotton cloth that will last up to 2 years. And think of what that's saving out of their landfills. It might not be very welcome in a lot of areas, but for the girls here, last year we were in Nairobi, Kenya, and in Morocco, and they were just so happy. And seeing their faces when they knew that they were going to be able to stay in school,
Yeah.
and when we were with the group and asked how many maybe had started their menstrual cycles, and at first they were very shy, but then when the first girl would raise her hand and you could see others, oh, you too, and they would sit up and realize it's not just me, it's not just me. So that was very empowering.
It's just another way to show that, our Lions Club International Foundation is not just adding to helping out, but it multiplies.
Yes.
And every dollar you give, it multiplies the support that happens all the way around the world, because it doesn't just stop there. You have people that we have 8 countries that come to this project, and now they're wanting to bring it home. And
Yes.
here we are live talking about it, and we started with just one. It's
Yeah.
not going to add to it. It's going to multiply and multiply and multiply to help out. That's how it makes a difference.
And not only through the Lions, but the girls are going to go home and talk to their moms, their aunts, their sisters, their girlfriends, because we couldn't meet with 100% of the girls. And so you're right. And that's why when we talk about Lions Empowering Service,
We are exactly at 10. Are you
and
ready?
it's the countdown.
Here we
Here we
go. We're actually
go.
starting.
This is exciting.
Verma,
Let's see how many they can get done. How
you
fast they can
need
get it.
one vehicle.
And the international understanding too through all of this. The girls here in India are seeing other skin tones
Yes.
and different ages, the intergenerational group that we have, and realizing it's not just them, that this is worldwide. And so we're able to share that connection with them. And again, through the foundation, some people will say, oh, $1, that's what,
Friends,
why
are
would I give
happy
just
with
$1?
please?
But every dollar, when matched, is now two. And
Exactly.
those $2 are one reusable pad for 2 years.
Wow.
So not only when we're thinking, providing food, vision screenings,
Friends, once again, may I have everyone's attention, please? Naidu, everybody.
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 Excuse me, may I have your attention once,
So,
please?
so this is,
We are doing this activity to feed 100 families. A family of 4 people. They could eat at least 7 days. Comfortably, both the meals. That's the intent behind the Global Service Week. Now we are trying to give them 3 kilos of rice that takes care of 6, 7, 14 meals. A kilo of tur dal that will supplement. Another pulses. For their breakfast, we're giving them some idli rava and vegetables, potatoes, and onions. I believe today being Saturday, some don't accept the oil, we're not adding that. The rest will be added later. Now their teams will work. There are small pouches being made, they will be branded first. This one team will keep developing that. And they move to that counter table 1. 3 kilos of rice means there are 2 containers of rice will go into each of the bag. Then that bag gets measured, go to the sealing table, seal and close. Number 2, there is a table called moong dal table. 1 container of this will take 1 kilo. Fill it, send it to the weighing scale, seal, measure, we'll stack it up one side. The third table will do tur dal, same 1 container of it, measure, seal, close, that's it. As we all put together, The last tray will have potatoes and also onions. You can just give them a bunch of three large ones, two small ones, or five, six, doesn't matter. That'll weigh here and there. We're not very particular about 1 kilo, a little more, a little less. So that's also gets packed. We'll try and add up. All put together, finally, there is one large bag there. All these items will be stacked into that large bag, again branded by Team A, and they're all going to be nearest labor or slum where who actually do not get both meals in a day, will find this good. And that's the way this is the first time again in MB316, this way of doing. We have been doing cooked meal. We've been giving all the while cooked meal, which gets spoiled in less than a day or two, and they do preserve. So we decided, I've seen it again, Lions USA were doing it, the dry ration distribution. So we wanted to emulate your work and start doing it. So branding is important. There is branding for thick sheets, rices and pulses. There are loose packs, branding that is for all vegetables and potatoes. And then we have container sizes. A few grams more or less doesn't make any difference. And we'll collect everything and put it in large bags. Friends from 316 help our friends from overseas would do it, hands-on for them, and you also can assist and help. That's the goal. And we have enough material to take care of about 100 packages. Thereby, we are serving at least 400 people. The next 7 days will have a comfortable meal. That's the goal. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And those of you who have schedules to travel out, just I'm here, let me know. Our teams are down in the lobby. They'll organize. Go ahead, please. No, you need to take one more help, yes. Otherwise, it's good. Maybe two bags. There's a bigger bag. There's a bigger bag. Check out this is a bigger bag.
I think what is very interesting to point out too is when we talk about international understanding. Back in the United States, we've been doing the dry food packing for quite some time. And we learned yesterday from our speaker here, past international director Vijay Raju, who's been chairing this, is that when they have been feeding the hunger, they have been bringing baked food, pre-cooked food, and they were finding that it was spoiling or it just wasn't always useful.
It doesn't last as long.
Right. And when he was in the United States at a USA Canada Forum Leadership, USA Canada Leadership Forum, um, he saw the dry food packing and he brought that idea back
Wow.
here. And so we're helping with this for the very first time also. So it's not only the cultures, but the ideas and able to share and be a part of. So continuing to support Lions Clubs International Foundation, where all of the money's donated
100%.
goes right back into community grants. Administrative costs, which we have because our staff are very important, but that's taken care of through our investments through the 50 years that our foundation has been around.
Yeah.
So we're in a wonderful position to help others everywhere. So I challenge all the Lions to see maybe what your community, what your club can do, and look to the foundation to see if you can help increase that service.
And there are multiple ways that you can donate. If you are a part of the Lions Club, you can look to donate through your club. Or if you want to donate it online, you can go to lionsvirtual.org and click on the donate here. That'll redirect you directly to Lions Club International Foundation. So that way your donation can make a difference.
That's excellent. And it's getting so much easier. We're getting so much better at technology. So speaking of our international foundation, I know that there's been a great group of Lions that have been working on a virtual marketing informational event. What's that, Chris?
So you're talking about the telethon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we are now on year 6 of the telethon. So what we are actually working on right now here in BizAg is showing the stories, going out there, being amongst all the LCIF donations that are taking place and showcasing their stories in wherever they're at. So that way you can see how your dollars are going to multiply the service around the world.
That's excellent.
I know last year was best ever yet, and
Yep.
hopefully this one will be even better than that. But this is now 5 years I've been a part of it,
Yes.
so it's been fun, and it's just a good time to get out there and to showcase. A lot of times when you donate to something, you don't ever get to see like how that dollar made a difference. And by looking at the telethon, TELL-A-THON, you can actually see how your dollars are getting put into use and how it's multiplying the service across the world.
Excellent. I know I really enjoy, I'm a Facebooker, and I really enjoy seeing Lions Club International Foundation videos, a lot of natural disaster relief, right? But they'll showcase a few other things. But I've been seeing with our videos this week and the last few global service weeks, we're able to be the Lions on the ground and showcasing even more. So that's been really exciting for me. As a matter of fact, your videos through each of our days of our global service week, I'm seeing on Facebook, and I'm receiving texts from family and friends saying, "Hey, I saw this. Chris Wooters did a really good job." So
I've enjoyed it, and the best part is put the videos out there. You tag LCIF, and guess what? The trailer comes behind you, and it has a donate here button. What better way to add our donations to
Yes.
every different post that we put out there? So go out there and make a difference and showcase it. That way people can see what you're doing.
And I think it's important for Lions to really understand about our foundation because as Lions, we give to a lot of nonprofits or maybe our alumni, other things in our communities. And why not our foundation? I was one of those that said, oh, we had a fundraiser, we made our donation as a club until I really started learning about the foundation and made my personal donation so that I could have the personal attachment and not just through the club. So it was an even deeper attachment for me.
And it makes a difference because if you're invested in something, you've seen what is being done, it really brings it out like why you should give. And that's why we're attempting to look at doing a different pattern of global service tourism. It doesn't have to be, you don't have to go all the way around the world to be a part of doing service, in your neighborhood, or it might be
Yes.
in the next state next to you. Take a little bit of time, do a little bit of tourism, but while you're there, why not help the people that are there?
And reach out to a local club when you're going on vacation and see if they're having a meeting or maybe a service project. And I know that Lions USA and its affiliates, they're working on bringing that information together so that at some point you're going to be able to go on their website, click on where you're going for vacation, and see if there's any events on the calendar.
That's perfect.
So we've got some really great things in the wings that they're working on.
And not only the part of the service is there, but the ability to see the different types of service that we're doing. A lot of times when we talk about LCIF, we talk about two things. We talk about the disaster relief,
Yep.
and we talk about the hunger.
Yep.
There are so many other things that are out there that we can help out with, that we can do and showcase the grants that are there. It could just be a straight children's grant
Yep.
to help out kids, because there are a lot of kids out there that need help. We have the vision. We have all these other different pillars that are there, so we don't have to stay with just one. We can work to whatever you have a passion for.
Environment. We were able to participate in a beach cleanup this week on our first day. And we volunteered with the Visag volunteer group. And as we were cleaning up the beach, they stated that they do this every Sunday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. And it was the 400th Sunday that they've done it because the tide comes in during the night, and when it leaves, there's all the trash that's been in the ocean that gets left behind. And so when you're looking at environmental grants to partner with other volunteers, and then you have all these bags of garbage, what do you do?
Yeah.
So the grant will also help with the disposal of that. So it's really cool. And then buying the supplies like the gloves, because you always want to be cautious, the bags and things like that.
That brings up another point that a lot of things that we think we have to do by ourselves, there's not that need. There are other partnerships out there where we can reach out and partner with them to increase, multiply what grants we're doing with LCIF.
And speaking of partnerships, today we participated in the Strides Walk at 6:30 a.m. We've seen the sun come up a couple times here
Way
in
too many
Visay,
times.
more than I have at home.
Yes. I usually see the other side of it when I'm staying up too late. Now it's getting up early. I don't like this stuff.
And so we had a Strides Walk for diabetes, and that's another one of our pillars because we know that diabetes is the number one cause of blindness,
Yep.
but it's also a preventable. And partners that we had there were the Visag Runners, and they host free muscle building, exercising twice a week.
Wow.
And then we had a couple of medical colleges. And so we had nursing students, and VJ stated there were over 400 nursing students that were walking alongside of us. We had some business students, the local Lions, us, of course. And then there were a lot of local people
Yeah.
once we got walking in our bright green oranges that you see in the crowd. Bright green shirts. What am I saying here? I just get so excited. But when they saw us walking, they joined in. And I did see in our staging area, then on March 8th, which is International Women's Day,
Yep.
they're having a pink sari walk,
That's awesome.
you know, kind of like our pink ribbons back in the United States. And they're bringing awareness to women cancers, the breast cancer awareness and cervical cancer, as they said, is greatly on the rise here in India. So there's so many things that happens around the rest of the world that we just don't know about. And if you don't get out and travel or communicate with each other, you don't learn this stuff. So saying hi to someone you don't know can turn into a wonderful conversation.
Good point. So we were sitting there, sitting with Lion Carrier Anderson, and we're sitting at the table, and for some reason, someone was walking by, heard that he was a optometrist, and he stopped down to talk to him, random person, and he wanted to know more about what we're doing and how he could be get involved. And he's actually going to Sacramento. Of course, Sacramento and Michigan are a little bit far away,
Right.
but we're like, hey, we have Lions Center there in Sacramento as well. To get involved. He was really wanting to get involved, so he's actually going to put, get in contact with him back when he gets back to the States. So
Excellent.
everywhere.
We met a gal who's originally from Fiji this week,
Wow.
and she recognized the Lions logo. Her dad was a Lion, and she was wondering if Fiji still has Lions clubs. So we were able to confirm that, but then encourage them that they can go to our Lions Clubs International website, search a club, and just all kinds of great connections all week long.
Well, there are two things I want to bring up before we get done here. The first one is reminding, if you want to donate, you can go to lionsvirtual.org, click on the donate here button right at the top, and it will send you directly through to the Lions Club International Foundation link to donate there. Any amount helps, and it totally makes a difference. The second thing is we're going to be going to Nairobi, Kenya next year for the Global Service Week in February 2nd through the 6th. And if anyone wants to take part in that, we will be starting that up soon. We're hoping to get more Lions and volunteers that we've never had before to go to this Global Service Week. We're going to be doing a lot of different events. They say they're going to break the vision screening record that we did this week. So fingers crossed that we can do that. And there's going to be some different things from vision screening to cleaning the Nairobi River. So look for information about that. That will be coming across Lions Virtual on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. So look for that to come too.
So where can our viewers see more of the videos that have been made throughout our week?
So right now, if you were to put in the hashtag LCIF Lions, you'll be able to pull them up on both Instagram and on Facebook. And soon we'll be pushing those over to YouTube. So all of our videos that were on Facebook and Instagram will now be on YouTube, so that way everyone can see them going forward.
And then we mentioned the Tell-a-thon. And when is that going to be?
That is, oh my, you put me on the spot. The first Sunday in June 6th.
6, 7?
Oh,
hold on a second. 6, 7. Oh, now we're in trouble. I can tell.
That was for my soccer kids that are actually going out
Not
for soccer tournament this weekend.
So let's see. Where's June 7th?
Oh, June 7th. There we go. June 7th, 2026. Look for that. You can go to lionsvirtual.org. It'll be on there to give you a link soon. I know you can go ahead to find us both on Instagram and on Facebook, and we'll be giving more information on there.
And is the telethon, the TELL, is it going to be just this for videos?
No. So we're going to showcase videos from all around the world where Lions are doing great things. So there will be some things from this trip. There are several different events that I know of, from climbing mountains and helping schools through donations there to. There are a lot.
Right. And is it only in English?
It's not only in English. So we actually use transcriptions to be able to get it in as many languages as possible. So that way, no matter where you're trying to listen or watch it from, you'll be able to understand it.
So Lions is in over 200 countries and territories around the world, and we're divided into 8 constitutional areas. And the telethon crew has done a great job each year highlighting more and more of the constitutional areas. So this year we'll probably have all 8 highlighted, and as Chris stated, it's going to be in multiple languages.
And it's just not what we do. So if you have an event that you're doing, you're providing service through Lions Club International Foundation with a grant or whatever, send us a video.
Yeah.
Reach out to us and let us know how you want to move forward, or maybe you need some help. We have some different classes that are coming soon on how to create these videos. So we've actually been doing a behind the scenes of this one, so that way people can see exactly what you need to do when you're taking shots for it to be looking professional. Because at the end of the day, we love that we have 1.4 million Lions, but we want to hit 1.5 or 2 million Lions. Not because we want the number of members, but it's the amount of service that goes out, the amount of hands that are able to help out and to provide that needed empowering of others.
Yes. So thank you, Chris. It's been a true pleasure. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And I don't know if you can see the bags filling up and being finished here. So I'm going to go join in and see if I can help count the beans. And let's go serve and help take care of the hunger out there.
All right, we'll leave it live here. We'll show the video. Maybe we'll get someone else on the couch here in a second.
Excellent. Thank you.
Anybody else trying to get through the way?
Did she talk to her ear off?
It's great.
Okay.
Grab some of those bags off of the table behind me. Right. Side is. Thanks.
If you can read it.
Side is. Well, the first two are.
Yes, the cop Bonnie dancing again. Oh, sorry. No, you censored me. No, you censored me.
I got you. Here comes. Here comes Ivan.
But since I'm live, I'm live.
Oh, hey. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Isaac.
Oops, sorry. No way.
Upside down. That's all. That's nice.
You guys are awesome.
We need some volunteers there, please. We need some of you here. Come here,
Come here.
This is for final packing. Take a bag. Put it down. You will have one packet of rice inside.
Yes.
One packet of packet of one packet one I said. Take another bath.
One here. One here.
Okay.
Migrate started. Everybody, Chapu. Knife required. Knife is there, please.
should be back.
Oh, that, I've done with Hong Kong today. Yeah, it's got more like oriental. Back next to Life logo because committee allowed me to.
Yeah. No, that's great. No, that's a great shirt. Is that going to be volunteer shirt or is that?
No, volunteer draft. No. We got your prize in line.
Can I? Yeah. Oh gosh, great. I've done that self things before. I'll do that. Oh my God, I love it. Yeah, absolutely. I got to get pictures of you. Creator. Yes.
That's her husband. Logo. Next year.
Next year. Washington.
Yeah. Next year.
I'm done. I'm
Hong Kong this year.
Next time.
DC is cool.
Washington DC, right? 109. 109. 109 to Lanes International. 109. I have you not because it is speaking language. I have you not because it is speaking language. Telugu language, so many people are speaking it is and Telangana state. You are also now
We can do translate into record that.
Yes.
So do you know? Here, hold on. Let me before you're done, I'll make sure we'll do the LCA video again. I'll do it for me. Perfect. Yeah, here's that.
find it before they leave.
How do you find out how to find that? It's that way. It's on the floor somewhere.
All right. And we don't hear all the noise.
It's kind of nice.
All right, just go right in there. All right. We now have Lion Gary Anderson on the couch with us. Welcome.
Thank you. It's great to be back on the couch.
So Lion Gary was one of the doctors that helped out to put the KidSite stuff in motion when it comes down to this great service event. You want to talk about a little bit what we did this last week?
Well, it was the mission to examine as many students as possible. So we had KidSite screeners, which anybody can run. The KidSite screeners measure the prescription, measure if the eyes line up, measure pupil size, which can be a sign of neurological impairment. And then it either passes the student if they're within normal limits, or it refers them for a full eye exam. And so we saw 11,000 students, and basically we had dozens and dozens of Lions running the screeners. Some of them were very experienced from the U.S., some of them were just learning how to do it. And if you can sit or stand, if you can hold an object, you can run the screener. You don't have to be a professional to do that. And so they get the screening, the referrals then came to the eye docs. We had 3 optometrists from the U.S., Dr. Ed Cordes, Dr. Donna Wicker, and myself. And then we worked together with the ophthalmologist from MD316. And so we did the objective examination to determine the actual power that we wanted for the glasses. They looked at their eye health and very much as a team, and then referred them to pick out glasses. So they pick out brand new frames, and they're being manufactured and they're being delivered today to them.
Wow.
So the Lions from India were able to do that, and we had also some medical referrals. We saw 7 students with cataracts, congenital cataracts, and they're being referred to have cataract surgery at the Lions Eye Hospital. So great Lion teamwork. A lot of folks, a lot of Lions getting to do something they've never done before, making a difference. And again, you don't have to be an eye doctor to do it. You just have to have the desire.
And it's something that is readily available for you if you want to go forward and get out in your neighborhood to take part in, right? No matter where you're at in the world.
Right. Again, preschool screening is just not done anywhere that's accurate. It's not just looking at an eye chart. It's actually measuring the prescription. And you don't have to go by their answer. So it's all objective testing where it shoots an infrared beam into the eye, measures when it comes out, and measures what the prescription is within 90%.
Wow.
So it's a great basis for referral. We can do that on a 6-month-old child. The stuff is not caught often before the age of 6, like the eyes don't line up. It can become a lazy eye and very difficult to correct, even if you can correct it at all. So we want to catch these things early. And that gives us the ability to do it. And the machines really do all the work. We just have to set up the process and get the kids there.
And how many missions have you done this with so far?
This was my 45th mission. So around the country. and around the world. Second one to India, but our goal is to do preschool screening on every child that needs it. We have the equipment. We can use more volunteers.
Always.
That's all it takes. And LCIF funding is available to help us offset buying the equipment, and that's critical because without the machines, we couldn't do any of that.
That's a big part of this. That's why the social Columbus Research Week is happening, is all the donations that have been done to Lions Club International Foundation. So we couldn't do this without you guys' donations and other people that are stepping forward and making these donations.
We couldn't. And I think about myself, I'm not going to be around forever. When I put my money into LCIF, I know the money's going to be there to be able to perpetuate this in the future because so much of it is invested so that we have it for the future. So put it in there, put it to work. We can't do it all by ourselves.
And then it starts to multiply. We're using that a lot.
Yeah.
The service that we're actually able to do because you and I can only do so much, but together as an organization, as a foundation, we can do so much more.
And that was the goal, to teach the Lions here, and they're going to take it and they're going to blow it up in the country. They're going to take it and take the next step. So that's my goal, is to show them and not just fish for them and teach them how to fish.
Yeah, I know myself. I had done a few screens here and there, but I had to actually sit back behind there and done like 4 or 5 hours straight to be totally able to understand it. So the different cameras that we had, I was able to get under behind both of them, and now I want to go back and do more of those.
Yep, and you even learned how to scribe and do that stuff. So now you're a doctor.
I don't know about that, but I'll continue to do more and be more involved with this because, like you said, if we catch this at an early age, it truly makes a difference.
And that's a trick. In school, 80% of what is taught is presented visually. So if there's impairment at all, we're already impairing the input. And the teaching and the learning just gets to be more difficult. So if we can solve that to begin with and help them see to the best of their ability, they're going to be more successful.
Perfect. Well, thank you for coming to the couch.
Thank you for having me on the couch.
If there's anything else that you'd like to say as far as like donating to LCAF or why someone should be involved with KidSite?
Well, donate to LCIF because that helps make this happen, and put yourself out and say, hey, I want to do this, because it might seem intimidating at first, but everybody who's been in this room, the 100 of people that have been on this team, have said, wow, that was a blast. I can do it, and I'm ready to do it again. So it's not hard.
No,
Let us show you how.
it makes a difference.
Thank you.
That's how we're here, to empower others to be able to go on and help others throughout the world. And you too can make that donation. Go to lionsvirtual.org, click on the donate here, and it directs you directly to Lions Club International Foundation, where you can make a difference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Love you, man.
All right, let's see what else we got here. Phil. Phil.
I'll get him.
Yeah, perfect.
He's like,
We're half deaf.
All right, we'll be right back here with Lion Phil Nathan. Get him on the couch. There we go. I'm doing live with on the web for LCIF. Do you want to go next? All right, jump on in. We'll get Phil next. You good with that, Phil?
Phil?
Phil, you want to go now? Either way. I'll let you keep those gloves. All right. Now I have the privilege of welcoming Lion Phil Nathan to the couch. We're sitting here. We're at Global Service Week, our last day, sadly, here. And we're just talking about some of the different things we've done this week and different things that have really made a difference for us. Do you want to say what was big to you this week?
Yeah, Chris, I came to sort of specifically be more involved with the vision screening. ended up getting involved with lots of different things. And this is the finale to do today, concerning feeding the hungry. And what a novel way to do it, dry packaging, so that there's no waste.
Yeah.
I'll go back also to the school for those with sight difficulties, where we discussed providing some laptops for those kids. I think that could make a big difference. So when you go home to the US and I go home to the UK, we need to catch up on what we can do there. 50 reconditioned laptops could make a heck of a difference there. It's not a lot of money when you buy them recon, and we can get them from India.
Yeah, and that's something that we take advantage, or we don't really know how much of an advantage we have with what we have. You know, when you lose your eyesight and you're not able to do the different things like being on the computer, like someone else might be, it's nice to have something there you can get on there, and you can use this brilliant software that we have that's really helping make a difference around the world.
I first learned about those with sight difficulties and laptops from Bosnia, where we provided a number of them, and they made a heck of a difference to their education. That the software is actually designed to help those without sight use a laptop like anybody else. And as I said, I spent most of this week really doing the vision screening. And I think we've nearly done 12,000, which is unbelievable. And it was non-stop. The heat was something else. So I cannot even begin to think about how many children's lives we've touched. Because we had over 2,000 referrals. When you refer because they've got an issue, and they wouldn't be seen. But those children are going to have an opportunity now to join their school friends and live a normal life because of glasses. And I think we even found 7 with cataracts, which is crazy because these are such young children living with cataracts and nobody understands they've got cataracts. Now they'll be operated on and be able to take a normal part in society.
And the Lions here in India are actually taking that and actually making it happen, which is tremendous, right? You often don't see that, but they're actually stepping up here to totally change the lives of these kids.
This week has been quite unique because these Lions listen to their leader and they are so tuned in to doing exactly as they're told, which is not always the normal thing when you see a chaotic situation. But they've all been focused on the end result. I would love to see, like 3 months down the road, where we are with everything that's taken place this week. Seeing the beach cleaning, I hope somebody continues that because it is a mess, and but that's global, and we need to change society totally because of the waste and the rubbish. I live in the UK in a nice village. People just drive down the road throwing trash out of their window. We need to change everybody's culture.
Yeah, and all it starts as one person trying to make a difference.
Yeah,
that's all we can do sometimes. But it's like LCIF. We don't add by doing this. We actually multiply. Our service multiplies by helping out everyone in our approach and how we go through things. And that one change might not be one; it will end up being 1,000 if we continue to do it every day.
We're like the spider's web, if you like, because LCIF can't be everywhere that we are, but we can deliver the message and make the message work with their support. Some of the things that have happened this week and will continue they've only happened because of LCIF support, and I don't think LCIF sometimes understand the impact they've got through all of the hands that are just in this room now. So we do a lot.
One last thing I want to talk about is the Ball for All program, which has been tremendous. I know when they approached me about being a part of it in the United States with the USA Canada Forum, I jumped at it because it's something that me loving soccer/football, it really makes a difference to give everyone the capability of having the exact same fun and love of a game by just a simple ball.
I was very fortunate to meet Elias Mastoros pre-COVID. He was doing such a fabulous job with this little ball that jingles, but it didn't really have the audience. I took it from the Europa Forum in Thessaloniki. I took it back to the UK as a tester, and we got 1,000 balls sponsored, and they went to children with vision difficulties. And a lot of people followed that. Then I went to the USA Canada Forum, and we discussed how can we make this happen. And Elias did the research, and we find that there's 1 million children that could benefit from the ball in the USA, and there was 100,000 from Canada. So we launched 1 million smiles. Well, I've taken that home now to the UK, and we're just about to launch 50,000 smiles, because that's about the figure. But if we could replicate that around the world, all the countries research how many children would benefit. And as I've got to work with Elias and what he's done now in over 160 countries, it's a lot bigger than just, don't mean just blind, but blind or children with sight difficulties. Children with ADHD, children with other issues, MATP programs. That little ball can make such a difference. And when you saw the children the other day with the ball that were blind, their faces lit up.
Oh yeah.
They didn't see what we saw.
No.
But when I looked around and I asked the question afterwards, who was smiling most, the children or the lions? The lions lit up. And I think our Indian friends here were astonished. People get the ball and they don't get the impact or the understanding, but once they've seen it in action, you can't help but fall in love with it. Incredible program.
And it's such a small thing, but to see how their eyes open and their smiles get bigger when they hear it. And for so long they didn't get the opportunity to play like all the other kids. But now that they have this
the little lad that we saw in Nairobi, and he had white eyes, and he had the ball, and all the kids were running around playing, and he just stood hugging this ball. And when one of the lions went up and said, "Are you okay? You're enjoying that?" He said, "Yes. How long can I hold this ball?" And he was told, "Well, it's your ball. You can keep it." He said, "Forever?" "Yes, forever." He said, "I've never had anything before." That's a life changer.
Wow, it truly is.
Yeah.
The best part of this is you can make the same smiles happen by making a donation through Lions Club International Foundation, where we multiply our service through your donation. So if you'd like to go to lionsvirtual.org, click on the donate here button at the top. It will send you directly through to the Lions Club International Foundation in your country so you can donate and make a difference. Thank you, Phil. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate all you've ever done for me. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Good to see you again.
Thanks.
Cheers.
All right, then we can hear you.
Yeah,
Hear me okay?
I'm fine.
All right, I am here with Lion Dr. Ed, who is privileged of being here because he's actually the guy who started the program we actually worked out this week, the KidSight program, which is a phenomenal program that I can tell you, someone who has never done a vision screening like this can step in, be a part of it, and now I feel like I can go back home and help everyone else out.
Thank you. We've been really pleased with the success of KidSight and especially the application here. Being able to screen over 11,000 students, and I think we referred for further care somewhere in the 2,000 range.
Wow.
and probably 80 to 85% of those 2,000 kids received classes.
Wow, that's great. That's a hard part. Coming into a country like this, you don't understand like what different differences you can make. But such a program like this is so easy to make a difference.
Well, one of the most impactful things we saw today is we were using lenses and we would be using what we call scope to estimate the prescription. And then if we had a child that had a pretty high prescription, I would ask them to look far away and I would hold that lens up and they just smile. It really made a difference.
Now, why get involved or why come up with this KidSight program? What was the thought process for you behind this?
Well, it was actually a process that was done, I believe it started in 2013 when the past international presidents of Constitutional Area 1, the United States, did a survey of the Lions and wanted to know if they felt having a U.S.-based project would be helpful for them. And the Lions overwhelmingly said that they would like to have a project and they would prefer that project be something with children and children's vision. So at the time, there were several LCIF sponsored vision screening programs going on around the country, but it really weren't unified. So I was asked by then First Vice President Phil Preston to head up the program that would unify all the vision screening programs, create some best practices, and then expand that as much as we could. We were very successful early on in the United States, and then we expanded quite rapidly into other countries. So now KidSight USA is, I don't want to say dissolving, but we're not keeping KidSight USA as our brand. It is now Lions KidSight directly under the LCI Vision program.
And it helps out with, like you said, we've actually been able to screen several adults too, several teachers that did have vision needs. We were actually able to find that out.
And that's a good point. I'm glad you brought that up. Here in this environment, in the environment of extremely needy people who don't have access to care at all, we did screen and examine some adults. In the more developed countries, we prefer not to screen adults because we're looking for refractive error, myopia, hyperopia, astigmatism, so on. We do not test for diabetic retinopathy, macular degeneration, glaucoma. So the risk is that if you tell someone they passed the screening and we didn't test for those, we might have missed it. So we try not to screen adults unless it's absolutely necessary.
And the best part about all this is it's made possible through donations to Lions Club International Foundation, right?
Absolutely. The original program that I mentioned to you started way back in the late 90s with 4 grants from LCIF. And then when our program took that over, LCIF gave us a startup grant of $70,000. They also funded our database development. So, and then LCIF also, with matching money, funds the purchase of the equipment we use to do the vision screening.
Yeah, let's talk about that database because I know that's very important for us to start seeing trends and see how we can make a difference. What else can this database really help us out with?
The main thing about the database is it can show outcomes. So if a lion reports to the portal, which they should, obviously report to the portal that they did a screening and there were so many kids and so many lions and so many hours, that's really important. But what our database catches is how many kids of each grade age group from 0 up through 6 and above were screened, how many of each of those age groups were referred, and also we have the capability of capturing the reason for referral. So if someone, for instance, were interested in getting a Master of Public Health or a PhD in Public Health, they could look at that data and say, you know, New York has more myopia. India has more astigmatism. And that information, is, epidemiologic information, is really useful for decision makers and policymakers and funders and so on. But it shows the outcome of what Lions are doing, not just the fact that we did a project.
So much more than just doing the ice cream. That we're actually hopefully taking data and using a scientific program to help better the future.
That's correct. That's
That's
correct.
awesome. And like I said, once again, can't do that without LCIF and the donations that hopefully people are going to be giving towards that makes events like this possible.
LCIF has been so helpful in the program that I've been working with, but many other things. My own club, Corning Lions Club in upstate New York, received a $100,000 grant in 2017 for a hospice house.
Wow.
We did not have a hospice house in the area. And we went to various local foundations, major local corporations, and we asked them to help us. And they said, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll think about it, so on and so on. Well, our club, through friends and neighbors and other associates, we raised $100,000, and then we got a matching $100,000 from LCIF. Once we got that LCIF money, then the other foundations and the corporations said, now you have credibility, and they all jumped on the bandwagon. We completed a $600,000 project, but the LCIF money and the local money that Lions raised was 200,000 of that, and if it weren't for that, the others wouldn't have contributed.
And that's even something that's not one of our pillars, but it's something of a project that needs to happen. I know from going through hospice with my son, I can tell you that the hospice houses around the country really help out the parents, help out the families that are going through this already hard times.
Right.
And that's something that is not like our normal staple thing that we put money for, but it's good to see grants going to things like that.
So we're in upstate New York, and imagine a family with someone in the hospice house, and the nearest one was about 45 miles away.
Wow.
Upstate New York in the winter and snowstorms, the fact of the matter is the families were not able to take advantage of that. And now we have it right in our town, and we're very proud of it, but it never would have happened if it weren't for LCIF support and LCIF money.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you've done.
Well,
How
thank
many
you.
of these missions have you been on so far?
This is my third one.
Third one.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I appreciate you guys.
I've done, my wife and I have done missions with Lions, not Global Service Week, but
Well, how
we've
many
done
total?
other missions around the world all our career.
Well, how many total missions have you done?
Oh, I haven't, maybe about 12, 13.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for all you do.
Okay.
It's greatly appreciated.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Keep on doing it.
Have a great
keep on-
day.
You too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you. Appreciate it. Come talk with me.
What are we talking about?
You tell me what we're talking about.
No idea.
We're talking about LCIF and how people can truly make a difference. Talking about Global Service Week. We're streaming live, so just to let you know. So one of the things is, let's get everyone to know Past Financial Director Joanne Ogden with me. Thank you. From Canada.
A.
But we're just talking about why people should give to LCIF and how being through something like this can show exactly how we can multiply our service through each donation.
I think it's really exciting that we can actually see our money at work and our donations at work and what an impact it makes in other people's lives, right? So 100 families today are going to have a week's worth of food, groceries that they wouldn't have had before. And I think one of the most important things that I ever learned from a very, very good friend of mine was that a lot of us are born under a star, but there's a lot of people that aren't. And it's our obligation as somebody born under the star to give to those who aren't.
And it's not very hard to do just something, right? I mean, a lot of times we look at it, people think, well, I don't have $10,000 or $100,000 to donate. We don't need $100,000. We just need you to do what you can do, and know that your small gift will be multiplied to help out others.
Absolutely. We had a conversation at one of my ID visits was everybody wants to give locally, right?
Yeah.
I want to give to my area. I want to make sure people around me have that little bit extra. And that's great. But in the same breath, we had a huge fire with thousands and thousands of people displaced. And all the people from around the world who donated to LCIF then helped us out.
Yeah.
So your money, yes, does come back regardless. And you never know when it's going to be you at the end of the need.
Well, I can tell you,
I know you know that.
I know that for sure. And it's one of those things where you never know when it's going to happen. And Treasury strikes whenever you're not ready for it. And just having this global family is so helpful, and it makes it so that way. Yes, we're here in India, where we're doing tremendous great things, but I know I've already had several of the local Lions that want to come back next year and be a part of DC and actually help out there. It's having a global community where we can learn from each other and do more.
Yeah. I think it's so important to know that we are just a family, right? So maybe we don't get along, maybe
Always.
not always, but when the going gets tough, the family pulls together, right? And I think that's the most important thing. We're here with so many diverse personalities, a lot of leaders,
Yeah.
and sometimes us leaders need to just take a breath, look around, and let somebody lead and help people move themselves forward as opposed to getting in the front of the line.
I know that's the hard part. It's all this leaders that want to jump out and be in charge to sit back. But knowing that we have the foundation we have, though, is so important because it truly does help out in ways that I think I never would have thought possible.
Yeah, I think it's just so important. Something like KidSite, that was helped by LCIF. We never would have done anything with KidSite in our area. During COVID, our LCIF impact dollars, the money paid back to our clubs, made a huge impact. In fact, is still making an impact for pediatric cancer. So we wrote a book with our impact grant called Betty Becomes a Lion.
Wow.
It's about a bird that wants to know how they can do good in their community. And we took that book, we did tie blankets, we put it in a bag with the book and a lion stuffy, and it's gone to thousands and thousands of kids. And other people have copied it and said, can we do this too? So that book has paid forward in so many other ways. And that's exactly what happens here. The connections that you make, what changes today, you have no idea the impact that it's going to make tomorrow. And that's what LCIF does. So your $5 that you would have spent on coffee this week could be life or death for somebody who needs a bag of groceries someplace else.
Wow. And yeah, that's pretty easy to give. You can give local, or if you want, you can actually go to lionsvirtual.org, click on the donate here button. It'll send you directly to the Lions Club International Foundation in your country. And I know you guys know exactly who that is.
This is regarding your departures.
Looks like we're talking about.
Those of you have flights at 18:30 hours this evening, Joyce and Martin. Your car will be ready in the lobby by 15:30 to 16 hours. Your car will be ready by 15:30. I would like to see you at 15:30. By 10 minutes time, somebody will ensure you're comfortably put in the car. Line Verma will be there. He will make sure you leave.